Well, hello everyone. Kendy Cox here again from Public Strategies, and welcome to our last session. So as we near the end of our time together, I wanted to share a few observations and updates. First, this was a very large group. So we're so excited that so many of you took advantage of this opportunity. We had 322 grantees registered for this training. So wherever you are, I want you to stop right now and give yourselves a little pat on the back for showing up the past 3 days. We so appreciate your time, your attention, and your engagement in our training. Second, given the size of the group, in developing content, we tried very hard to include topics and information that would be applicable to all of you. And while it would be easier to plan 3 days of general sessions for all 322 grantees at the same time, we believe strongly that the track-based design that we've implemented provided an opportunity to really tailor content to your specific needs. And as we move forward with debriefing on this training and planning for future activities, we'll be looking at ways to improve on that approach going forward. So please be sure to provide your thoughts on the feedback forms that we provide. And speaking of feedback, we wanted you to know that we listened to your previous feedback and this time gave you ample opportunity this week to talk with and learn from each other, specifically through the field talk sessions. And by all accounts, those sessions were really helpful in delving into a number of topics and approaches with your peers. And we wanted you to know before we end this training that as there were so many great ideas discussed in these groups, we are already working on a plan to go through all that information, organize it into topical headings, and provide you some of that key information that you might want to revisit as you look at refining your programs. On that note, we're also aware that there have been several requests throughout the past 3 days to have a list of contact information from other organizations and grantees. So know that we'll be following up with you about that resource. Finally, I want to thank all the presenters, the panelists, the moderators, and everyone behind the scenes that came together to put on this event. From the field experts to the many peer presenters that you got to hear from this week. And as you know, they're experts as well. I know that I appreciate and FYSB appreciates how everyone was able to take those very important concepts and models and make that information immediately applicable to programs as well as program operators. And I'm confident that no matter your experience as a grantee, your geographic location, the population that you're serving, or any number of other dynamics at play, this training provided at least one thing, likely more, but at least one thing that each of you can use to enhance your services. So I would like to now ask FYSB Program Manager Vernae Martin to share some additional closing comments with us, and then I will have some final housekeeping items before we officially end the day. Vernae?
Great, and thank you so much, Kendy. Everyone, thank you so much for your participation and joining in today, for the last 3 days rather, for the training. So again, my name is Vernae Martin, and I am one of the APP program managers. And I mean, this has been such an eventful 3 days filled with energizing and informative deliberations on enhancing purpose, passion, and results. And as Kendy said, we've had over 300 grantees participate in this training. I also want to acknowledge that we appreciate the messages that you've been sending and We've heard from a lot of you about the training having provided all kinds of positive outcomes for you. For example, I know that some participants have shared that the training has provided them with an excellent foundation and great information and examples of classroom implementation. We also heard that participants gained a lot from the panel discussions, and that the panelists brought a wealth of knowledge and experience to the table to share with everyone. We've also heard that participants found the training as a great way to learn more about the We Think Twice media campaign and all the resources that are available. Participants have indicated that this will help them to be able to better share with their partners as well. Many of you have been utilizing the We Think campaign as it is now and have expressed how much you love that platform and the information that's available to you. And also to some participants, there was a lot of new information that came forward. And it was mentioned that it was refreshing to hear this information after many years of implementing the programs at your level. I think that you will agree that there was a full agenda and a number of outstanding speakers who shared a wide range of new tools and strategies and ideas for you to incorporate in your work going forward. There were so many, notable speakers that we had, including Dr. Matthew Lee and Jonine McKenzie. They were just great in providing practical guidance for use by grantees. Well, I'd like to share with you at this time a few updates, and we have some slides to share with you. And I think we'll go to our next slide at this point. So here, we wanted to just give you an update about the funding opportunities. We have 6 FOAs coming out very soon. And this slide just provides you some updates about the forecasted funding levels for each of these funding streams. You will see here on this slide that there is a link that you would be able to go to at grants.gov to get more details and to stay on top of the time frame associated with the funding opportunity announcements actually being posted and the dates that are given for submitting applications for new funding. Just wanted to bring back to your attention, I know many of you have received an email about the call for abstracts for the upcoming virtual conference. I think this email came out a few weeks ago, and you're invited again to take another look at this and consider submitting an abstract for the conference. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to your project officers, and you'll see too that the abstracts are to be submitted through an online submission process by March the 12th. So again, feel free to reach out to your project officers if there are any questions related to the abstract submissions. This, again, we wanted to just bring to your attention about the various resources that are available to you on the exchange. There are so many different material packages that you would have access to that will be very helpful as you implement your programs. The next few slides will also just pretty much highlight resources that are available to you, including cluster calls and topical trainings and webinars and regularly scheduled TA office hours. I'm sure many of you have received emails related to these activities and events. And if there are any questions about timeframes and dates of these sessions, please don't hesitate to reach out to the APP program office and to your project officer. And with our next slide, I think we're still talking about resources that are available. Again, bringing to your attention the We Think Twice campaign. And there are so many resources here that will, again, help you in your program efforts. Videos, planners, and games. It helps with being able to engage participants as well as implementing your programs as mentioned. So I want to thank you again so much for your work in the communities that it's in order to support the youth. We know that these are challenging and unprecedented times, and we hope that you have learned some new skills and been able to connect with new colleagues and leaving this training armed with more strategies for approaching your daily work. We would encourage you to share the great work you are doing on the comment wall on the Exchange. This wall is only visible to APP grantees and is designed to be a place where you can share your insights with each other. Please remember, you can always reach out to your project officer or public strategies if you need or would like to have additional TA. And lastly, I would like to put out the thank you to Tanya Matthews, who's an APP project officer, and all others at Public Strategies for planning this successful and informative training event. Thanks again, and I'd like to turn it back over to Kendy.
Great. Thank you so much, Vernae. So before we officially end the training, I have a couple of housekeeping items. Oh, who am I kidding? I have one housekeeping item. We need your feedback. We have valued all of the feedback on evaluation tools that we've received over time, and this training is no different. And you're probably tired of us hearing us talk about it, but some things are just so important they're worth repeating. So please click on the link in the chat box. I think that's being added to the chat box as I'm speaking, and access that feedback tool for us to know what you thought about the sessions, both what you received, what you thought you would receive, what you didn't receive, that you wish you would have. All of the above is important to us as we continue planning for training and technical assistance activities for you. In addition to the link in the chat box, at the end of the training, you will also receive an email that includes links to each of the daily participant feedback forms in case you didn't get an opportunity to complete one for today or any of the previous days. Got it? So as you're doing that, I just wanted to say a couple of other things to send us off on the right foot. In my opening remarks, I said I was confident that this training would be a bright spot for all of us, and I believe it was. I hope you are leaving today with more tools in your toolbox and feeling even more empowered and motivated to serve our country's youth. We definitely have big goals to accomplish together. Have a great rest of your day. And as always, as Vernae said, we are here to help. So let us know what needs you have now or in the future. Thank you all.